And yeah, man, we back part two of the SPC2G interview, man. And again, once again, I'm so proud of these brothers. Y'all mute yours real quick, Mike P. I'm so proud of these brothers, man, because one thing that I appreciate about y'all, and I tell KO this a lot over the years, is that once y'all established the foundation, y'all took off running with it. It's very few times where y'all will contact me or one of us and say, man, should we do this or should we do? Y'all just put the work in. And I always respected that because, you know, we didn't want to start this to try to be holding nobody's hand. It's like y'all been doing this for decades. Y'all are not rookies, y'all are veterans in this game, you know. So it was just beautiful to see how I look up and oh, what SPC2G, they got a show? Oh, hold on, they got an album? They doing this, they doing that. But we're gonna keep on going down the line because I want to get to Text T and just talk about how you came to be a part of the 2G. And because we got a whole lot of Galveston County participation in the 2G. So tell them about how you came to be a part of the clique, T. Just unmute. There you
go. The first person I met, I think by, I don't know, it might have been by destiny, fate, whatever you want to call it, or just coincidence, but the first person I met was Conflict. And I'd gone and done a show with another dude from Galveston named Bam. And I was, you know, I was with him, he was taking me around, and I met Conflict, and me and Conflict kind of had a freestyle that night, and we had a little, you know, back and forth, and it was fun. And then I don't know, as time went on, I met KO and Brandy and Worm and Analyst and everybody at Jet Lounge, because I ended up doing shows at Jet Lounge, and you know, just kind of found a home there, and ended up, you know, at one point in time, a couple of times, DJing for the showcase and performing all the time. And, you know, we just got gradual, and it actually came from a question on Facebook, really, because I was just representing, because I had love for everybody that in this particular interview right now, I had love for everybody. We was all rhyming, we was all artists, and I was just representing with them, period. And somebody brought it up, and KO asked you, and you said, yeah. And so that's really how it happened. Like it was just, you know, I don't know.
I remember that.
On that note, yeah, because everybody was saying, well, what about Text T? What about Text T? Because at the time, Text T was friends with everybody from doing the shows, and he was always in every spot with us, every show with us, and the question kept coming about, you know, what about T? What about T? And I had brought it to Reno. I was like, you know, we gonna add Text T, and Reno was like, add him. I thought he was already with y'all.
I did, yeah.
So it was official after that. Yeah. He's like he's the longest tenured official, unofficial 2G member, because he was 2G, just not stamped, because he was everywhere with us, and, you know, just made it official.
And I was surprised.
On top of, I didn't have a clue. I was just doing me, really. You know what I'm saying? And still just doing me. And it like I said, from the top to the bottom, it's still an honor, even with these 14 people I rep with right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm gonna say again, and that just points to the organic side that Shorty was talking about earlier, man. It's just the humility, man. I'm gonna go to Conflict. What's up, Fleck? I'm gonna go to Conflict, man. You know, you done moved away and then shout all the way across the country on us, man. But you know, talk about your entry into the 2G and what you were seeking to bring to the table.
All right. Like it started like years upon years ago, like before. But yeah, back when I was Vato of Hip Hop Incorporated, and I started rapping with this dude named Kid, a big old 6'4", 300-pound Mexican dude. And here I am, the 6 foot half breed with a ponytail and glasses. And we just started doing shows at this spot in Pasadena called Rock and Rodeo Ocean Club. And he started throwing shows there, and I started seeing his hustle. And I got married young, you know, was involved in that. And when that marriage ended, I ended up kind of jumping from place to place. And I started using shows to hustle and get my name known, but also, you know, make enough money to stay on somebody's couch here and there. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I ended up meeting KO, because Kid brought KO and Bam and them to Rock and Rodeo. That's how I ended up meeting you for the first time, Reno, because we brought you out. And then from then on, because I met Reno, because my mom found a box of tapes. You know, back in the hood, we lived off of Netherfield and over there by Telephone Road, and people just used to leave stuff on their porches and on the curb that said free stuff. And I guess some mom got pissed off at her kid and took all of his mixtapes back when there was cassettes and threw them in a box. And my mom brought them home. She worked for CPS. She was just on the way home, and she was like, "Hey, here's some music." And in that music, Street Military, Reno, the Big Bad Buddha Baby, Mr. 3-2, RIP, The Far Side, like any hip hop you could think of in the 90s was in there. Wow. So then when I got to perform and have in front of Reno and bring Reno to a show, that was it for me. I thought that was it. And then I remember for like 3 years after that, I paid you out of pocket. We'd throw shows just to put you on my birthday party. And I used those shows to put on people like Tex T. I think Analyst introduced me to the Twins when I started throwing shows again at this little hole-in-the-wall bar off of Dixie Farm Road, and I brought them out, just all of that. And then one day when I was going to quit, I was done. At Jet Lounge, I did a show with Worm and Analyst, and you were there. And you stood right out in the middle of the crowd for the first time. All the shows that I had done with you, that I paid you for and everything like that, you always have your spot in the back. It's the first time ever that you stood up in the middle of the crowd and just was like, And I remember I had to have my Lokes on because I was like, don't mess up. Don't mess up. You know what I'm saying? like Reno just jamming you. And then after that, Sniper came outside and was like, hey, welcome to the SPC. And I was like, what? Like I was looking for Ashton Kutcher, you know what I'm saying? Like Punk. for all you young cats, there was a show on MTV called Punk, and I thought I was being punked. I was like, man, what do you mean? Like, because there's no way in hell that Reno would think I was good enough to roll with legends. You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this because
but you was real.
Again, each and every one of y'all, man, are so dope. You know, and that's the beauty to hear y'all story of how y'all link together. Like I said, but I was introduced through this one, and this one told me about this one, and this one told me about this. So I mean, when something's meant to be, it just happens. I'm gonna move on to the silent assassin down here, man. You know, Analyst, man, and this guy, he's one of the dopest rappers, man. You know that y'all are gonna hear, and he's just from the time I've been around him, I don't hardly hear him talk much at all. But once the mic is connected, man, then he turns into a Sasquatch or something. You know what I'm saying? So we won't take
the
this
lyrical giant
to actually hear you say some things, man. Tell us about your introduction to the 2G. And, the floor is yours, Analyst.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's your boy Analyst, LG, lyrical giant, man. Introduction to 2G. I remember just doing all these shows, man. And I remember I met Conflict, then I met KO through Conflict show. And then we started doing shows at the Jet Lounge, man. I was looking for people to come perform with us, you know, and that's when I met the Twins. You know, I think it was your album release party, man, the day of the storm.
Yeah,
back in 2011.
Yeah.
And I talked to the Twins on Facebook before that. Seemed like real cool cats, man. I met them up there. KO brought me out there and introduced me to you. And I was like, damn, man, yeah, you know, something gonna be coming of this. So we kept on doing shows, man, kept rolling together, you know, and
hold on. He is bypassing like this whole big damn thing. Because his ass was about to stop rapping too. And then one night he was at this bar in Pasadena called the Pub during karaoke night, and he was freestyling. And I got a phone call because that was the bar that let me throw hip hop shows there on Sunday nights. And they were like, "Hey, this boy wants to battle you." And I was like, "What? Like, what?" And so I go up there the next week, and it was nothing like that. It was just, local bar BS, but we chopped it up, and I heard him rap, and I was a little cocky. I was an alcoholic back then. I like, somebody wants to rap, and then I walk in, and I hear him. I'm like, well, now you want to be friends.
Let's just be cool. He's a giant. He got the right name.
Yes, sir.
He's a gentle giant. He's that giant that like, okay, these little flies is picking on me, but sooner or later I'm gonna turn around.
Hey, let me say something. I only put him on a couple of shows, and he took it off from there and got the Jet Lounge. Yeah, he's a big part of Y2G because a lot of us met at different spots. But if it wasn't for Jet Lounge and Analyst and Worm, a lot of us wouldn't have kind of stayed in contact and became as close. Analyst really like Facebook.
Salute the Worm. Let's give Worm some love too while we on here. Salute the Worm, man.
Yeah, shout out to Big Worm, man.
Worm do a lot of stuff behind the scenes that you don't always necessarily get credit for. We're gonna go to Danny Blunt, then we're gonna go to JD. Danny Blunt, I remember meeting you because I through the Twins when we came and did the track that time at your spot, man.
Yeah. That's right.
So you've been brought in more recently, but you always been on the periphery the whole time, man. So kind of break that down and what made you just say, you know what, I'm all in.
Well, I mean, basically, I've been doing music with the Twins since about 2002. Dare I say 2? Yeah. It seems like such a long time ago, but did music, such a long time that when the 2G thing came about, I was pretty much, it already kind of felt like I was. It was just something I was never gonna ask. I felt like that wasn't my place or anything like that. So
organic.
When they asked, man, I was all for it.
Nobody ever asked to get in.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the best way. I think that's the best because the only way. The reason why is because a lot of the times the people that's always asking to get in, they just trying to get in for the clout. They just want to get in. But see, nobody it's a rare individual who just works their way in, just kind of I'm just there. JD, what I do. And that's what leads us to this brother here. JD. Yeah. So, no ulterior motive. No ulterior motive, just on the grind and would be around whether he was in it or not. Yeah. So introduce yourself, JD. I know we know you from Fort Worth, but just talk about how, what was going through your mind when they first said, hey man, we want you to be 2G.
Big bro, I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do with it, because just like you said, that nobody asked to be in, and it's like, what would I do with my chance to carry on South Park Coalition? Because it's more of y'all than it is of us. You know what I'm saying? We still gotta do research to really learn everything about all of them. So it's like, man, it's an honor, man. I'm still starstruck, man. You already know, man. Because at the time, I was already this. You see that?
Right, no doubt. ARC, definitely.
Man, I was already, and I gave you a shout out on my first CD, and I was rapping on this street, that 2 blocks up. I shouted out to you, Point Blank, and Murder One, and everybody. I had no idea this was gonna go on. So I just say, you know what I'm saying? I put my 2G shirt on just so I could go ahead and fit in.
Well, we're gonna run through this quick as we can too, because your time is of the essence. But I want to talk about y'all's chemistry and the work ethic too, because a lot of times you can just link up with a group of cats that's in music, but the chemistry might not be that. So I want to ask, Decipher. I want to go to Decipher on this one just to ask about when did y'all first know that? Hold on, man, we kind of got a little chemistry together, you know what I'm saying, with these guys. When did you kind of first notice that?
Well, honestly, I knew that we had chemistry together before we even really worked together, because like literally just being around each other at performances, seeing how we conduct ourselves in front of people, you know, how we go about our own individual business, because we are all individual artists under this umbrella. So, you know, it's not a rap group, so to speak. Though when we did have chances to collab, we realized a lot of us had already collabed with each other, you know, like us and Blunt, for example, you know what I'm saying? And some of the stories that we've heard with just how each other met, you know, we all respected each other's skills. We all respected each other's aspect, you know, how we come at our artistry, because we all got different angles. We all got different styles. So we all had expressed, you know, respect and admiration for each other's styles already. You know, so just knowing a little bit more as we got to know each other personally, it kind of draws you into, you know, whose styles meet with who. And, you know, it's a beautiful thing because that word organic comes up again. You know, it wasn't something that we really just consciously pursued and forced together. Well, we're going to put this one with that one and see what happens. You know, things just come together. And I think with Blunt having such experience running studios, you know, I've learned a lot just being around studios and saying, you know, I want to be the guy in the chair doing that. I don't want to be asking questions all the time. I taught myself a lot of that stuff, text T, you know what I'm saying? So having like the in-house sessions and just being able to bring each other over and come around, and as we have projects coming out, you know, we just naturally ask each other to collab. Like we'll just have somebody in mind, at least as far as how I go. So for example, you know, and then I cut it off, but I got a 2G EP coming out right now, and I'm gonna try and drop one every quarter. And this is gonna be the first of many volumes to come. And I just grabbed my own tracks and I titled the track what I felt like the track, you know, felt like. Yeah. And so the title of the track is the concept. And then I just had in mind, like, I already knew who sounded right on these tracks, you know? And so I just started assigning them. And then, you know, everything materialized, you know, just like I envisioned it. You know, I knew Tex T and JD would pair perfect on this. I knew Shorty and Doc, you know, with their styles and their aggressiveness, with their different, you know, shifting of the gears. Like I knew those. So, you know, it just kind of came together like that, man. I think we all respected each other's own aspects and styles and uniqueness. And, you know, little by little, as the years passed, man, we've all had the pleasure of working with each other at some point or another.
And then, it's gonna continue. 10 seconds. Yeah, because 10 seconds, because I know this was for him and time is of the essence, but I'm one of the twins, so I'm allowed to
bad twin.
Yeah, I'm allowed to back in. So, but just the chemistry naturally happens. And it's not even just with the music. Like we all mess with each other. We F with each other. You know what I'm saying? We already cool. Like we blend naturally. Yeah. Well, you know, regardless of the music, you know, I'm kicking it with T and Conflict kicking it with KO and Ellis with Blunt, because we all got a genuine, like, we just love each other. We just blend.
We actually get along.
It's not a force. It's not forced.
Let me say this real quick because that's a good point, because a lot of people don't understand that it's just like a basketball team. You gotta have a chemistry off the court as well as on the court.
On paper is one thing.
And that don't mean you gonna always get along and always see eye to eye.
Nah.
Oh no, we've
y'all gonna have y'all creative differences and things of that nature. But people don't see that. They just see the end result. Who got a copy of the album? Anybody got a copy of the album? We gotta let them know that it's an SPC2G album out, you know, right now.
Brothers in Arms.
No question. And with any projects, you know, because the
bottom. I got mine at the house. Put up.
For those who don't know, how can they get that? How can they get a copy of that?
That's the copy right there. That's our first EP, album.
Yeah, it's an album.
But you know, there's a couple of tracks on there that are more like mixtape type. So, and this was put out like before we really jumped onto the digital wave. So we really, you know, working on getting that out like for everybody to access.
But I tell you what, because that was the first of many. I mean, we got Grand Gesture. All of these that I'm gonna show you is all out digitally right now. Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, whatever you got, man. You know, we got.
We need to get an SPC2G website where we can consolidate everything so people can come and get everything that they got. I want to talk about another thing real quick because, like I said, we fighting on time. I'm gonna tighten it up at some point so we can bring y'all back.
On time, I got something for you.
All of y'all are so really lyrical, man. You know, as I look at the whole panel, man, I'm just thinking about at different junctions where I have heard y'all just going in, just killing. You know what I'm saying? And JD with the fast flow, Analyst, Text T, Doc, all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? But I want to talk to my homie KO about something real quick because I tease him all the time. I mess with him all the time because when I first met KO, he was performing and standing on speakers and doing flips like Prince and landing into a split and all that. But
Darby and his hype man.
He was
Jesus.
Every group, man. I think about Street Military back in the days and how you had Flea, KB, Icy, and Pharaoh, but there was a guy in Street Military named Nut.
Yeah.
Nut, you was just that hype guy, man. He would just do suicides on stage and all that. And I have seen y'all perform together on a couple of occasions too, and y'all still kind of have that same chemistry that y'all have in the lab. So what are we gonna see as far as SPC2G moving forward, and what kind of growth do y'all see the click having? And I'll toss that around to everybody, but just give me like a in a 30-second stretch. You know, I'm gonna go to Doc real quick. He been quiet for a second. What do you see as far as the future and the growth of the 2G?
Man, we really about to show the world. You know what I'm saying? We got a campaign called Who is 2G? You know what I'm saying?
You heard of 2G?
Yeah, you heard of 2G, you know what I'm saying? And basically what we're doing is just organically, you know what I'm saying, getting our name out there, showing the world that, you know what I'm saying, you got SBC and you got 2G. Well, who is 2G? You know what I'm saying? Have you heard of them? If you ain't heard of them, this is how you can get hurt. This is how you can get up close and personal with us. You know what I'm saying? Through music, merchandise, everybody dropping single albums. You know what I'm saying? Mike D got like 4 or 5 different albums. We got one called 4140, Stupid and Retarded, coming out that he did for me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? As long as we keep pushing, as long as we keep dropping music, we stay doing what we was put here to do. And that's continue the name. You know what I'm saying? Continue the legacy.
I want to bring Mike B in too on that note because Mike B, this is a cat who he's always been around too. And he was doing this thing long before 2G was developed. You know, I always used to hear about DJ Mike D, you know what I'm saying? So Mike, so what is your function in terms of like when these albums come out? Are you DJing it in the clubs? What is y'all method of promoting and marketing the 2G?
Not only do I play all tracks at the clubs and I break them everywhere I can, I'm always putting out slow mixtapes with everybody's songs on them, man. I try to put as much new stuff as I can together and out digitally. iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, you name it, it's all over the place. As far as the music, man, I think getting into 2G, I met K-Water before I met you, and K-Water put me in front of you. And I actually didn't, this was 2010, so I didn't really touch back down with 2G until what, 2016? So it was a good 6 years of organic
2017.
Every single one of these cats in the club, man, and making it happen, man. And, we all just love the music, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. And again, everything that you need in a group and in a project and an organization is right on the screen. Danny Blunt, I want to go to you real quick, man, because how long have you been producing, and what gave you your vision to say, I'm just going to be more than just some artist. I want to produce, I want to engineer, I want to rap, you know. How long have you been just doing whatever it is you do? Because I don't think your value is emphasized enough. And we gonna
True.
Yeah.
Thank you. That could be my fault, you know what I'm saying? I've been producing for over 20 years. I got my first beat machine in 98 or 99. And yeah, man,
Houston, man.
I started freestyling songs I never wrote. I was freestyling like 5 songs a day.
When we met you, you never wrote. You never wrote. We had to talk you into writing because your freestyle was so dope. Like if you write, you be out of that.
I turned into a songwriter, man. So
hooks.
I couldn't freestyle right now for shit, probably. So that's the crazy thing about it. But yeah, man, it's been a long time. And honestly, I wish I would have focused more on trying to be a producer. But I was so focused on being a rapper and an artist that I didn't put the type of energy I should have put into being a producer. I was just producing, you know, for me and my homies.
Well, it ain't it's never too late. That's the whole thing. It's not too late. And then as far as the freestyle to go, because my freestyle game is trash, but I know that it's a mind exercise. So if you had it, it ain't nothing for you to get back. You just got to start working. You just got to just wipe out the rust.
Tell them a little bit about what you do at Cloud 10, though, Blunt.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to go to analyst right after that.
Oh yeah, Cloud 10, man. I'm over here, man. My boy KJ, I linked up with him, and I kind of merged my studio over here. So this is where I work. If you're on the west side of town and want to, you know, record or do anything, I do.
And Cloud 10 is the studio, right?
Cloud 10 Creations. Yeah,
One
we got
step above Cloud 9.
One-stop shop.
Cloud 10.
We do photo, video, as you can see. We got the room. We got a podcast room. We got a recording studio. I do graphic design. We do everything now, basically. Yeah, and we like to help develop artists as well. You know, I represent 2G over here, and you know, everybody that I see, I always give a shout out, you know, to what I'm doing with 2G, and they always hear what we're doing. And I just want to say, man, like this, we got something coming called Wu-Tang. That's also another campaign. I think it's an EP, but it's very important because, like Decipher said, we have a lot of styles, we have a lot of different dynamics to the situation, and I feel like kind of like Wu-Tang, I don't really like to compare because we don't sound like them, but in a Houston sense, you know, we kind of like SPC, you know, and them boys, like we have that dynamicness. So I'm really excited for this Wu-Tang situation.
What's Wu-Tang all about?
Hold on real quick. Let me go to analyst real quick, because I know analyst is your project finished yet?
Yeah, my project, the Gemini, man, it dropped about 2 months ago, and it's on all digital platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music. Yeah, man, that's my heart right there. You know, went through a lot of stuff and brought my life through the microphone on that one. There's a few lyrical pieces on there. I get lyrical sometimes, you know, now when I'm writing, but man, it's more spiritual, man. It just more flows out, just my life, man, what I'm seeing through my mind and experiences in life, man. I'm trying to bring that and lead by example, you know. So my next project is called Metamorphosis. That's the change that's come about, you know, that's led up to this point. So that's what's going on right now, man. But the last project, just dropped 2 months ago, the Gemini. You could get it all digital platforms, you know.
Oh, good.
And that's what it is. That's why I'm going with it.
We got about 5 minutes. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to plug the individual projects too. But that's the thing about one thing about South Park Coalition, you know, because that's 2G is all SPC. We still, everybody's free to still be an individual, you know, and that's the beauty of it. So I know JD got so many projects. I already know. Let them know what you got currently and where they can get this stuff. We got about 5 minutes, so run through it as quick as you can.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, y'all, man, make sure y'all get the Shit Volume 4. That's my mixtape type stuff. I got 19 albums. You know, the last one was called Explicit Content Mastery. You already know, and I finally got the hookup with Reno, and then I'm glad that I'm getting bombarded with all these 2G tracks because, yeah, I can't just run through it. It ain't easy as it look. I want to go hard every time as I can. Appreciate that shit, but y'all look out for Straight Lacism. We're recording the video right now. We got everybody on there, man. Houston and Fort Worth. And man, y'all look out for the new album called Straight Lacism. It's gonna have all your SPC.
You said something just there. I want to ask y'all, when we gonna see an SPC2G video?
Oh, we got some.
Y'all got a video? Yeah,
Shit.
look him up. How that get by me?
What you mean? We're gonna send it to you right now.
K-Rino 24/7.
I got your email. I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Yeah. Because we need more of that too. Because that's definitely a good introduction.
You messed up and gave me your email.
What you got coming? I know KO, you promoting shows and doing everything else, but as far as music, also what you got coming?
You talking about KO or me?
KO.
Yeah, good.
Everybody on my behind. Everybody on my behind about this because I have 3 mixtapes, basically Concept Killer Volume 1, Concept Killer Volume 2, Flames, and Volume 3 Aftershock been done for like 3-4 years. I just never put it out. So everybody kind of fussing at me about that because I still do music, but I don't do music as much as I used to or I should. So Volume 3 is done. The graphics is done all by me. I just have to track it out and put it together, which my idea was to do something different than CDs. I put all 3 of my mixtapes on a USB. So when you buy the 3rd mixtape, you'll get the first 2 and some graphics. So the problem was finding a USB big enough to hold all the songs and stuff like that. So Volume 3 is done. I will get it out this year. So my 2G brothers can get off me about that real tough, you know.
That's how you still sharp and still. T, what you got?
And then
quick?
off of what Reno said,
T.
how you said everybody is lyricists in the stage performance.
Yeah. Now go ahead. Finish your point, KO, and then we go to T. Go ahead, finish your point.
Probably froze again.
No, he just posed he was like, yeah, real quick.
But what I was saying was how you were saying everybody was lyrical and stuff like that, and you was talking about my stage performance. I know that I'm not the most lyrical rapper in the group, so my stage performance had to set it off to make people remember me. So that's why my stage performance was always that hyped up, because I don't dwell on the lyricism like.
Well, the problem is he can do it if he wanted to, but that's
yeah.
Say he don't dwell on it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, T. What you got?
Man, I got a couple projects. Well, I got 2 singles and a project on all major platforms right now. A group I put together a couple years back, SSK, Southeast Spit Killers. I re-released that album. I got 2 singles up there. One of them is with Doc and another group he's a part of. We're a part of out of Galveston as well. Terradome. Called Great Scott, and then I put a song up there that's really dear to me. It's called I'm Hip Hop, but getting ready to drop my new project, Slow Money Fast Nickel, probably in July. I got the cover ready for it and everything. Actually featuring pretty much everybody in the screen is on it. And me and the twins got a project coming out shortly after that, probably a month after that, I would say. And
all right.
I'm just gonna keep going and just keep releasing music, since the platforms are the way they are now. And you know, it's cool, press up CDs, but I think I'm gonna take full advantage of streams and all that. Just
across the world, man.
Yeah, mix it up.
It's so easy. It's so easy to release music now.
Real quick. We got about 2 minutes, hard 2 minutes. Conflict, real quick. You got anything coming?
All right, man. You can catch me on everybody's sites. From DNS from Germany. You can catch me on a couple of his tracks.
Who is DNS?
Who is DNS? SPC2G, man. You always know.
Germany.
Yeah, in Germany.
But
worldwide.
Do it all.
Worldwide, just like South
Lots is lost, man.
DNS do
You
it
can
all.
catch me on everything that all my brothers are putting out.
Danny Blunt. What twins?
But,
What y'all got? Real quick. We running out of time.
Yeah. So we just dropped a single not too long ago, man. Right here with Gangsta Nip, called Devilish. My boy from Detroit, Mo Dirty. We also got another single called I Am about to come out, which is going to be on the Twins album, The Great Polarity. And as I said, I got the 2G EP coming out right quick. real soon. Volume 1 of many to come, man. I'm gonna drop a 2G EP every quarter, starting next month.
Danny Blunt, real quick, about 10 seconds. We under a minute.
Go check out Slade. We dropped Slade not that long ago. It's me and the Twins, produced by me, and it is a hard motherfucking track.
Done deal. What you got, Doc?
Straight up.
Which doctor? All streaming platforms. WITCHDOKTA. Just go jam me everywhere. I'm everywhere.
Look,
So
man,
these sublime in the way
we gonna definitely
Shout out
bring the family
JT
back.
Face, shout out K-Dog, shout out DNS, man, because they could be here. Shout out Sidewalk.
Sidewalk the villain.
Thank y'all for coming, man. And like I said, it's just the first time. We're gonna keep it going, and more stuff y'all got going. We'll bring y'all on individually as well, man. But I appreciate
Thank you.
taking time.
Thanks for having us, big brother.
Man.
5735.
Second generation Southpaw Coalition. Second generation Southpaw Coalition. Hey.
Only in the hood.